Hello gamers. Actually, in fact, Merry Christmas. And today I'm going to show you how to beat Fajar on Master difficulty as easily and consistently as possible. Before we begin, there's a couple of things that I point out here. You need to invest one skill point into at least two of these abilities. The first one is Flowing Claw, definitely. And then I would also recommend Chasing Trip Kick. This just helps get some more damage alongside Crotch Punch and Duck Strike. These are all of the abilities that I would go for. And you only need to invest one skill point into these abilities because you only lose access to the abilities if they're not permanently unlocked if you get a game over. And that's not going to happen, I hope, with this strategy here. So, before we jump into Fajar, I just want to show you I'm not going to invest into any of the skills here, just to show you how easy this is. But I wanted to point out that the focus is helpful to get. It works on 4 out of 5 bosses, and it's just an emergency, let me breathe kind of button. And it can help you get a lot of damage in, particularly for Kuroki and the one-armed bandit, Jinfeng. There we go. They take a lot of damage, so using focus attacks on them can really speed up the fights. However, we're talking about Fajar, so at the start here and throughout the fight, you are going to have to perform some defensive actions. When he jumps, you need to be ready to dodge left and right, or just back off, back off. He can kind of tether to you sometimes when you back off here and get hits in. So just dodging can be more consistent. If you get your timing down, you parry. Blocking, you will take big structure damage when he does the jumping attacks. So it's not recommended, but it is possible, especially if you're invested in structure skill. So anyway, let's start here. He's going to jump in, and we're going to create the perfect amount of space to exploit this, man. There we go. We're backing off, we're backing off. And then once he kind of hits a sweet spot here, he might jump. You get ready to react. There we go. And then Flowing Claw again. Okay, it's fine, even though we take damage. Again, Flowing Claw, and now he's at that space. And there we go. And if you took the Crotch Punch, there's a little extra damage. And then it's just rinse and repeat. You get used to the kind of space required there. And you back off, and he's going to jump? No? And just back off, back off. When you get into the second fight, your health will reset, so you don't have to worry about that. There's extra damage here, but I kind of missed out. There's a little sound cue that he was somewhat stunned. And again. There we go, there we go. And one more. Alright. So I should point out as well, when I'm doing that combo there, you're doing back forwards punch to push them back. As you're doing that, I'm doing the heavier punch to chase them down and trip kick. Then it's back forwards and heavy to kick them while they're on the floor. And then ground and pound as you're putting that input in. The timing is tight, but once you get it down, it becomes quite easy to do. And yeah, this phase of Fajar is a lot easier, honestly. He can go a bit crazy at times. Okay, so you got a lot of space as well, you know, to kind of back off, and you're looking for him not to jump off the wall, but just attack you normally, like that. And there's the combo. Again, this whole time you do have focus attack, you know? That's not the only kind of way to ease this fight, but it's definitely the most consistent. You can also, if you have charge back fist, you can time it like that. But it's a little bit stricter, and you don't have the luxury of the power armor. And yeah, you can see This is pretty chill, right? That's it.
I have spent 8 long years preparing for this.
Ow! Ruthless. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, it can take some practice to get started. Fajar is renowned to be one of the hardest bosses in the game. I've fought against him so much that I don't feel like that's the case anymore compared to my practice level with other bosses. But yeah, I hope that helps somebody out there. Yeah, it can be a struggle, especially the first time round where you really want to lock in on that achievement. And yeah, that was me originally, and I just fell in love with the game. You know, really enjoy it. Anyway, Merry Christmas.